Anyways, I want to tell you, a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Mike and I had the honor to be once again at the Purina Animal Hall of Fame. Let's talk to Veronica right now, who is just recently in Toronto and who joins us on the program right now. Veronica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. So Dr. Mike and I had the privilege of introducing you and introducing the event, and your story touched us probably the most with Chance.
So this happened December 5th. So they've only known each other for 3 months, and he knew that James needed that protection. And when they were in the yard together that day, I was with them. The Chance was just kind of laying around watching us, and James started kicking the ball around, and Chance really likes that too. And then James threw the ball over the step, which is right beside the yard, because he knew he was waiting all morning for my back to be turned, and I wasn't doing it. And he threw the ball on the step, and I went up to get it. And that's when he took his chance to run to the motorhome, which is just, I can see it right now, it's just right here. So when I took him out of the motorhome, and we both went back out into the yard, and then he must have slipped the gear shift. He went to go to put it down, and he must have put it just on the verge of neutral or something, and when I went back out in the yard with him, the motorhome started rolling. It just slipped, and when I turned my back to go, because the wheels were turned out, I was worried he was going to come across the yard. I should have just let it go because it hit on the corner of the truck. That's when he took his chance to run. And then when I came back out, him and the dog were gone.
Wow. Yeah. So just to go on the story, was it 2 days in total that he was gone before he was found? How long was the time period from the time he disappeared to the time that he was found? Was it 2 days?
Oh, it was just about 2 days.
2 days. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check with you. Okay.
Yeah.
And Chance was with him pretty much the whole time?
I'm sorry?
Was Chance with him the whole time?
He was with him the whole time. That's
Wow.
right. And I'm so glad he was. Now, autism spared him from the fear that we would normally know of, like coyotes, the fear of being lost and not coming home. He was spared that fear because of autism, but Chance spared him from the fear of feeling lost and feeling scared. He kept him company. He probably kept him warm, no doubt, because he still had that faint heartbeat when they found him. He's tiny little boy. So I really think because Chance was with him that he thought eventually he was going to come home.
Right.
And he probably, after walking so long, hopefully, I'll never know, but hopefully he just went to sleep, and then the worst of feeling cold happened while he was asleep.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when hypothermia sets in, that's really what happens. You gently fall asleep like you're extremely tired, and the only touching thing about the story is that at the end of the day, they were both James had someone right at the end, and that's the remarkable thing about Chance. And tell us, because how did Chance find you after this? Because I remember you saying that if it wasn't for Chance, there would be no way that there would be closure in your life right now.
That's right, but actually, Chance's tracks did lead the searchers to him.
Right.
But by chance, by fluke, the other team, which is from Halifax, were coming from the other side, and they actually found him first.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Oh,
if they didn't, Chance certainly would have led the searchers to him, because they were almost coming to him at the same time, the two searchers coming from opposite sides.
Gotcha.
And the team from Halifax, they found a little blue piece of material. That's what he thought, but then when he started brushing the snow away, he realized it was James. He was covered in snow that much. But Chance, it's funny how this happened. It was snowing. It was a blizzard for over a day. It was terrible weather, and then it stopped. But there was tracks everywhere, and then it snowed one more time, very lightly, and stopped. And then Chance came home. So his were the only tracks in the woods, and that's how certainly that team, those tracks led him to James.
And from what we know, the community really supported you and supported Chance, and and obviously was a big part of the services that you had for James. And it's a truly remarkable story. And people can actually visit Purina.ca and click on the Animal Hall of Fame, and they can read more about the story. And if they just type in Animal Hall of Fame 2010, they'll see the information that you have there. And it's, you know what, I mean, talk about Chance for a second, and talking about Chance being recognized as a hero. You know, how does that make you feel, knowing that, you know, how does that make you feel?
It feels great because thank God for Chance. It made a huge difference in James the last 2 days. If he was out there by himself, he would have been much more scared.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm so glad that Chance was recognized for that. He got over 400 nominations, and it's so wonderful that, and it helps other people, and I hope to see that other people will know how beneficial animals can be in our lives. They really are part of our family, and they can certainly save lives.
Yep.
And they're devoted to any family that adopts them. So I think it's wonderful that the Purina Hall of Fame has recognized Chance for that.
Well, you know what's interesting for me is that, you know, initially you said that James didn't take too much of an interest in Chance. I find it so fascinating that Chance, regardless, you know, this is the old unconditional love story that I always talk about every day with dogs, is that it doesn't matter how you treat them, they're gonna love you regardless. And just because James may not have given him the same, so
and
Chance saw something in James.
Ignored him a lot.
Yeah, well, that's great, but
still, he didn't hold a grudge or anything.
The fact that you said that you don't want to spend the rest of your life being sad for those 7 years that James was around, but you want to spend the rest of your life celebrating those 7 years that he had the opportunity to be around, and to make you and to make everybody else around him such better people, and just that
was touching.
That to me was probably one of the most incredible things that I've ever heard, and it was very inspiring.
Yeah,
very inspiring.
That was very good. Very inspiring.
Every day to get through, to think of his life, not his death. It took me a long time to.
No doubt.
Of course, I'll never forget how he died, but it took me all the time. I was thinking about that, and I was trying to fantasize a different outcome by what if I did this, and what if I did that. But then I had to realize that nothing is going to change, even though I knew it the whole time. That he is definitely gone. I need to focus on his life, and I always think about all the time, like little things he said and things he did, and it really helps me go along. So I need, like I said on the video, if he was looking down on me, he'd say, "Mommy, I didn't live 7 years for you to focus on my last 2 days." And and I understand how it's hard not to, but you have to make the decision to just flip it over and think of something good about him, because that's like some people have a baby and lose a baby very much younger than that, and I had 7 years with him.
Right.
And you have to focus on what you do have and embrace that and not count what you don't have. And thinking of what he would have been doing now, what he's going to miss out on, I try not to go there either, because he is the one that's not going to get to do all those things. So I have to cut myself off when I try to think about that too, because he is the one that is missing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you still have Chance, which is, that he's a hero. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the fact that a dog takes to someone like that is, you can't even talk about it. It's just incredible. It really is. It warms your heart, to me anyway.
Veronica, thank you so much for joining us on the program, and thank you.
I'm so glad everyone. I really am happy that Chance is recognized for what he has done for my son.
And we were touched by your story, and we wanted everybody to hear it out here who listen to Animal House Radio. We wanted everybody to hear your wonderful story, and we thank you for sharing it with us.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Anytime.
Have a wonderful evening.
Talking about him.
Take care of yourself. Veronica Frazier.
All the best.
Thank you.
Veronica Frazier, owner of the dog Chance. What a wonderful story. And for more information on that story, you can go to Purina for their great annual Animal Hall of Fame. And regardless of the company, just an amazing story.